Okay, guys, welcome back. It's gonna be season 13 of Love Island UK, episode 8. Let's get into it. We're still on Dates with the Bombshells. The guys are being filmed, and the girls are watching it back at the villa in live TV. So they're doing one on one dates now after the group chats. And first, we have Lorenzo in Namibia. I really mispronounced her name in the last episode. I called her Olivia, and I'm very sorry. I just had no idea. She had said a name I'd never heard of. Like, honestly, I haven't heard of this country in Africa, and that's my bad. I suck. Sorry. Very sorry. So, no disrespect, honestly. It's just a brand new name for me. Her and Lorenzo are speaking. She asks about his couples, and he doesn't really spend a whole lot of time talking about Jasmine, which he's like not super fond of. He does make sure he includes that she's really into him, or she's made it clear since the beginning how she feels about him, and that they've just been together for like a week. Doesn't really say much else. And that he's also getting to know Yasmin and who else? I don't know. Yasmin and Priya. He says Yaz is more his type. I wonder why Priya doesn't remember that. Again, I think Priya has blinders when it comes to Lorenzo. Might not work out for her later, but okay. Anyway, the girls are watching this date and they all agree it's pretty boring, so they're like, move on. But yeah, Jasmine's pretty like put off. She's like, really? Okay, huh? That's all I am to you. All right. Because it's nothing compared to what the other guys do and say about their couples. And to be fair, her and Lorenzo haven't been exactly smooth sailing, or they've not exactly been on the same page. I think she's been pretty tolerant of his behavior, and she thought she'd probably get a little more credit than that. But again, you cannot change a tiger's stripes. So I don't know. Second date, we have Victoria and Samraj. And she's happy. She asked him if he's happy that she picked him. And he's like, yeah, I just have some questions. Like, why? Why'd you pick me? She said he's handsome, he's got good vibes, and he's cheeky. Mika even says, she's like, yeah, he looks really hot. He's wearing that royal blue like he did in the hideaway when he and Ellie had been dumped and they were like getting ready for new bombshells. He's wearing the royal blue. He looks so stinking good in it. Like, cannot be denied. So they're talking, and he's like, to be fair, when she asks if he's open, he's like, I'm, talking to Priya and Mika, and I'm not really a roster guy. I like to focus on one person. So the girls love that. They applaud that. And, he's like, to be fair, you're gorgeous, and, you could change people's minds, of course, but, he still does very good, in my opinion, and the girls agree. So even Mika is just like, bless him, saying stuff like that. The girls clap. They're like, that's how it's done. That's how a man does it. So their date is Namibia and Kevin. He's with Ellie. He was like, yeah, there's a little bit of drama. Sorry if my dog, if you hear him whining in the background, he's a little frazzled because my girl dog who's not fixed, neither is he. So it's like a double whammy of like hormones and frustration from these two. Obviously they can't breed, and I wouldn't want to do that, but it's just like, yeah, she's like 10 pounds and he's 75 pounds. He doesn't know what to do with himself, so he's whining in the background. I'm sorry. Send him your love, send him your prayers and good vibes. Yeah, just the way he's behaving kind of reminds me of a few of the guys on the show, not gonna lie. But Namibia and Kevin are talking, and yeah, he was just talking about how Ellie and his bro have had a little bit of a thing, but she shut it down, which makes his bro like want to pursue it more. And so there's just been a little bit of drama, but he's into Ellie, and he's also into Jasmine, which I had read too that on one of his little bios, I think it was on sun.com, that magazine, the tabloid or whatever, he had said something about he does slightly prefer brunettes more, and he has mentioned that Jasmine has like this Tomb Raider type of look. And again, I think he's just talking more from like a fantasy mindset, which doesn't usually last. It's just like, it's given seventh grader. It's like, okay, bro, we get it. I mean, it's fine. It's like, I'm totally into Thor and Chris Hemsworth, but yeah, I need to be fair and equal. It's just the longevity doesn't necessarily like come to mind when guys talk like that. It's like, are you digging deep? Do you care? Are we repeating Lorenzo just with a little more smoothness? Who knows? He's 21. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just compared to her. I don't know. They do have a lot of sexual chemistry, so she's happy that he mentions that he's into her. The girls said that he said even more about Jazz than Lorenzo, which I don't think he really did, but maybe I didn't see something. And yeah, Jazz is just like, yep, kick out Lorenzo, like he's disqualified. And I kind of agree, because I don't think he's here for love. Based on everything he has said and done, I'm not seeing that he's actually here for love, so I don't know why he's here either. Just to have fun. All right, Victoria and Sean are the fourth date, and he asks why he was picked, because they didn't mention that, you know, they fancied him earlier in the group chat. She's like, of course I do. Look at your buzz cut. Look at your tan. And he's with Lola. It's going very well. It would take a lot. So he's mentioning Ope's into her. She agrees. She would like share beds with him like immediately. She's got a good vibe from him. And he's like, well, you're obviously beautiful. And the girls are screaming happily, because like Lola could not be happier that he gushed over her. He really did like gush. It made it very clear, like, it's gonna take a lot. Like, you shouldn't even focus on me. Don't even try, because pretty much signed off on her. And so it was really cute. Good reaction. Everybody was ecstatic. Moving on to the fifth date, Namibia. I'm gonna try to get better at saying her name. I've never said this name before, so I just keep hesitating, so I'm sorry. So Namibia, and Sam. The girls are cheering for him. They're like, go, go, go. And he's like so good at complimenting her and asking her questions. And the date has like really good flow. They just talk about like, are they looking for something serious? He mentions he's been in a serious relationship for like 3.5 years previously. And she has never been in a serious relationship. So they just chit chat and talk about that. He jokes like, oh, do you have baby names picked out? And she's like, no. And I think that used to be a thing. Because like when I was growing up, the girls that I grew up would do that. And I kind of came off of that too as I was getting older, because I'm like, who knows? It's going to come down to like me and that person, you know, what we really want. It's not just going to be like what I want. So there's that. Then we have sixth date, Victoria and Ope. Okay, he immediately starts out the date with kissing her hand, and he's just like Mr. Chuckles, and he's like really basically like dancing out of his chair. He's so excited to talk to her. And he talks about like this he talks about the slow pace that him and Angelista have been going on. The girls have been calling her Angie, so I might call her Angie. So Angie is Angelista. He was like, yeah, it's a slower pace than I'm used to, but you know, I still like her and stuff. But they both agree that they're more of like a fast-paced type person. And he definitely is acting like it. He's acting so much faster with her than he ever would with Angelista, which just comes off as very disingenuous. Like, all the girls are like, how fake? Like, how fake can he be? Because it's just the opposite of what he's been telling her. It's so opposite. It's not just a little bit. It's a lot of it. So, not fun to watch. They even joke about, like, being, you know, each other's first kiss or something at the villa, and he's just coming off more immature in my opinion. And I had this little joke. I was like, does Opie stand for open? Because he kept saying like how massively open he was, and I'm like, bruh, it just came off as disrespectful and embarrassing. Like, I felt for Angelista so much. I'm like, she's probably like, why the hell did I waste like a whole freaking week on you, pal? And yeah, he's like practically drooling. It's really desperate. Not a fan. Yeah, he like cheerses to their like future relationship and kids, and they're just laughing their butts off. Angelista basically is like does the little vomit impression, and they walk off. They're done watching everything. Everything's done. And so she starts crying. Like, her, Mika, and Jasmine, they go to the bedroom, and they're just trying to calm her down. Not in a aggressive way, but just letting her take a breath and all of that. And then you have Robin, who comes in, and she's like, what are you crying for? Like, don't be crying over that freaking prick. And Angelista's just like, no, I'm just frustrated, you know, and I'm stressed. And it's like, it totally makes sense. Like, Robin freaking cried over that prick George. So, you know, I know Robin's on the other side of it, but she needs to be more patient and more understanding, and let Angelista have her moment and cry it out and just get it out of her system, because before you know it, all the guys are going to show up, and they do. And when they were talking, the girls were talking outside a little bit. They were trying to be like, okay, how are we going to act when they like enter the villa? And they're basically all in agreement that they're going to give everyone the cold shoulder, which that's what they deserve, except for Sean and Sam and Samraj. So like besides them, everybody else pretty much is going to be getting the cold shoulder, and they do. Oh no, Cav did good too, so he's good too. So like half the boys, half the boys did decent. Yeah, because Cav is just like, I think Ellie's alarm bells went off a little bit, but at the same time, he really didn't say anything too bad, or bad at all. All right, so when the guys come in, they're like, oh, hey, and they have the bombshells in front. They notice that it's really, really quiet. All the girls are just standing in the kitchen and pretty tense, honestly. And the boys are like, why is it quiet? And then they notice like the huge screen above the pool, and they're like, oh, they were watching? Like, oh, they were watching. And then like Lorenzo and Opie are just like really like I don't know, I can't even describe. They're very broy about it, and they're like laughing their butts off, and they're just like, oh my god, like they know they've been caught red-handed. And not that they really care that they're coming off like immature AF, but yeah. So immediately Angelista's like, yeah, we gotta go talk, and Opie's like freaking out and just being like, oh my god, like for fuck's sake. And it's like, are you kidding? Like, you really did not expect to answer for your behavior? Like, what is happening here? Like, he's definitely lost his head. And he was even arguing with Robin for a minute, and Robin's like, why are you like being so theatrical, basically? Like, what is all of this act? And he's like, don't wind me up, like shut up, like fuck off, and really being disrespectful. So I'm just like, okay, I hate to admit this. Lord knows I hate to admit this. George was right. George peeped this. He said that Opie was just playing up for the cameras, and he was. Like, so much of his freaking respectful act is an act. I'm appalled. I'm upset. I'm with Angelista and Mika, who wanted to cry with her. I was ready to cry. Like, I was tearing up because I was just like, you poked all of our hearts. Like, bruh. Anywho. So, yeah, he has attitude, and I'm not a fan. He's just being all butthurt. He's such a BS liar. Anyway, Robin's like literally like when he's talking to her and saying like shut up and stuff, and she's like looking at everybody. She's like, no, has he really lost his head? Like, does he have anything in there? No common sense, no decency. Like, just a complete 360 with this bro. Like, I don't understand. So they go off and they go talk, and then the other two that are talking is Lorenzo and Jasmine. So she's just trying to explain to him like how I'm trying to, because like Lorenzo's confused because he doesn't think he did anything disrespectful, and Jasmine is honestly just expecting more. Like, they've hung out, they've connected, he's tried, he's just like, well, that new girl doesn't deserve to like know where my head's at, you know? She doesn't. And I get what he's saying and where he's coming from. It's just that Jasmine's finally clocking the fact that Lorenzo is surface level. He's just here for fun. He's not here for a real relationship, because if he was, he would have acknowledged their connection to be at least somewhat deeper, at least like the quality time that they've spent together, even though he doesn't have a love language. That's one of them. And so, of course, you know, you bond and you've been sharing a bed and blah 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 blah. Like, he's only been barely talking to Priya, and now barely starting to talk to Yasmin. And like you said, he says Yasmin is more of his type. So, hello, like, uh-oh. I think he's just, like I said, he's not looking for something serious. So that Jasmine finally clocks on. Angelista is griping out Opie for good reason. He is kind of whiny, you know? He's just like, oh, I didn't mean to like hurt you and stuff. And she's like, no, it's embarrassing. Like, I am pissed off. You go and you say all this stuff to me, like you're fine with the pace and you're happy to be with me, blah, blah, blah. And then you literally switch up. Like, you're a completely different person when you're around two new people. And he like says it later that he was just joking for the boys and stuff. And it's like, again, which girl wants to be with a guy who's going to be one version with her and a completely different version with the boys? It's okay if you are tapping into your more goofy side, but when your freaking morals completely flip, that's an issue. Like, don't pretend it's not bro. Like, come on. I keep calling him a bro because he's just a bro to me now. Like, I'm sick of him. But she's like, yep. She's like, he's like, I'm really sorry. I'm taking accountability. And she's like, no, I can't trust you. Like, I just can't trust you. And she's like, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. And she gets up and she's trying to walk away, but her dress is a little tangled in her heels. He pushes past her. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just so butthurt that somebody called him out on his behavior, that he got caught acting a fool, like literally. And he's like trying to say he doesn't even remember what he did. And I'm like, convenient. How convenient? Well, maybe because you were acting like a freaking clown. Maybe that's why. You just... I'm so ticked off with him. I'm so ticked off with him. Lola and Sean, they're very happy. They're like cuddling in the kitchen, and he's like, wow, I can't believe, like, so what did you guys see? And she's like, everything, you know, after we got the text that we were stood up, we saw everything. We saw you guys chatting as a group, and then we just saw your one-on-ones. And he was like, oh, I'm really glad that you saw that. She's like, me too. Like, you know, he came across so well, very solid, very strong, and he was like super reflective of how she feels too. Like, they're on the same page. He's not giving her one script while performing another with somebody else. Opie. Opie's massively open. So yeah, Sean kind of admits, he's like, if I was watching you on screen, I'd be like a little nervous, even though, like, of course we trust each other. It'd still be like, and so Lola was the same way. She was kind of like, ee, ee. And then she was like, oh my God, they like screamed happy when they saw after his date. They're like ecstatic. So he could not have done better. And yeah, Aiden was again headlock hugging Yaz in the kitchen, and she's just like, you know, it's embarrassing. Like, you're talking about this sandwich or whatever. It's embarrassing for me. And she kind of leaves him moping in the corner, but she's also like, you're gonna have to talk to Ellie. And he's like, I don't want to. It's like, you're gonna have to talk to her. Like, that's straight up how it is. So then Aiden sees Ellie in the kitchen and pulls her for a chat, and they go off. At the same time, Cav looks at Lola in the kitchen, and he's just like, how did I come across? And he's just kind of double checking, making sure. He's like, did I do anything? Like, I don't think I did, but did I? And she's like, nope, you came off good. Unlike your brother. Like, you came off really good. You're fine. You were a little flirty, but not too much. So he's like, woo. So he's in the clear. He's happy. He's like, all right, cruising. Which, of course, he can. He didn't do too much. Like, even if he wanted to do a lot, he didn't. And I think it's just maybe these girls were not enough to turn his head. Maybe they weren't his type. Maybe they weren't vibing, like having the same chemistry that he was having already with Jasmine and also with Ellie. So yeah, he's fine. He's doing good. I hate talking about Aiden, quite honestly. So, but he did tell, like, Yasmin, he's like, what? It's not like I went on any dates. And she's like, yeah, but you would have. And he's like, not really. Like, or you would have wanted to. He's like, no, not really. Even when he's lying, he's like not fully committed to his own lie. He's like, nuh-uh, not kind of. She's like, seriously. So, let's see. Boom. Okay. Aiden tells Ellie. So they sit down. And he's like, so apparently I'm making all of this shit up. Ellie agrees. It's all in his head. She brings up his disrespect and how she's just not here for it. So he's making up this false narrative in front of the new girls. He whines that he's not. She clears it up more. She's like, it's not going to happen. And he was like, well, it feels like a sandwich to me. And I'm like, Captain Delulu. Sorry, but Ellie's jumped ship. So you don't actually call the shots anymore for her. Okay. So everybody's getting ready for bed. Angelista tells Opie that they're going to have to sleep in separate beds. And of course, he's like moody about it and he's griping to the boys. Aiden asks Yaz, like, where's he sleeping? And she jokingly says outside. And Lorenzo cracks up laughing. But yeah, Opie's griping that he's been kicked out of his own bed. And it's like, no, it's a shared bed. And you lost your privileges. Get it freaking right. Like, he's so fucking entitled. Where is this entitlement coming from? Because that's what he was basically saying to the new girl on the date. He's just like, I'm the whole package. And you know what? You can't find another me, like, anywhere. Like, he was really backing himself, which I totally understand. You should be like that. But to the extent that he was, it was kind of like, it was definitely overboard. And he was, again, way too hyperactive for me. I want to say like he's pretty horned up and that's why he acts this way. It's really gross. Like he needs to calm the frick down. So yeah, she's when Ellie is saying goodbye to Aiden after their little chat at the day beds, he was like, "Can I have a hug?" And she's like, "No, you can dab me up. That's all you're gonna get." And he's like, "Wait, what? What the hell?" So that's what he wants. He really just wants physical touch from these girls. He wants to just like everyone to appease him. And he gets offended when you don't play. When you don't play along, when you don't give him what he wants, then he starts treating you like shit. This is why I've said before too, is like, if you really want to know the quality of a person, the type of person they are, practice saying no to them and see what happens. See how they respond, see how they act when you tell a mofo no. Even a mo girl, like whatever, a mofo girl. When you tell someone no, watch and see how they act. Then you know what you're getting into. Because I had dated a guy a long time ago and I realized like, you might be nice to me, but the way you treat others is a red flag on how you could treat me one day. Like, pay attention to that, you know, because if you're not giving them what they want, then you immediately become the op and you start getting treated like trash. So if they're capable of treating everyone or all these other people like trash, and there's a difference between like having boundaries, there's a difference between protecting your energy. I totally respect people's sovereignty, but it's when you have the ability to treat others crappily, you've got to understand like that can come back to you, and just watch out. That's what I'm saying, watch out. Because he's starting to do that with Ellie now because she's not playing his game anymore. So she's like, not my fucking problem, you know, walks off flipping him off. I love it. I was like, oh, it's giving queen. It's giving queen. But yeah, so everybody's getting ready for bed. Samraj, he sees Angelista and hugs her, and she says something that kind of breaks my heart. She was just like, I hope I wasn't too scary. And Mika was like, not at all. And this is the thing, just like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Spice Girls, but the one person of color in the group, or the second, I think it was like, she is basically like, she comes across as like the only one in the group because the other ones are very light skinned, even though I know they have diverse backgrounds. But she was Scary Spice. And there's this stigma around women of color and even men of color that, you know, anytime they have strong emotions, they're immediately vilified and they're called scary. And, you know, it's a big problem and it's a big thing. And it's like, oh my God, calm down. And their feelings are not validated. Hell the fuck no. She was completely validated in how she felt towards Opie. And I stand by that. And I think she could have even been more scary. Poof. I did. I wanted to be. All the other girls were pissed for her too. And even the guys, some of the guys were like, he is fucked. He fucked himself. And yeah, he sure freaking did. So yeah. They're in bed. Yaz tells Aiden, like, don't mug me off. And then they finally start cuddling, but she was trying to, like, push him away at first. But he always, you know, pushes boundaries. So he gets what he wants and they're cuddling. They're falling asleep cuddling. Sean tells Lola Opie would have to graft super hard. But even then, Lola agrees it's a long shot. It's probably not going to happen. So Cav and Ellie are cuddling. Samraj and Priya cuddle. Opie's in a separate bed, whining. I had to note that I did see the full moon in all of the camera shots, and I was just like, what does the full moon stand for? Illumination. What did the girls get? Illumination. On the boys' game and stuff. So I was really like, bet the energy was on point. So the next morning, Sam says they were all fuming, all the girls, and he asked if Angie was okay, and she's like, you know what, I just don't know. Sean asks, like, if Opie were to really put his graft in, would she take him back? And she's like, I don't know, that was a bit too far. Like, really, I'm good. So her energy is pretty low. She's just trying to process everything because that was like freaking whiplash. That was whiplash for all of us, especially for her. So Victoria and Namibia. Sorry. They get into bed with Angelista and kind of doing like a little debrief and just talking about how Sam's going to put his graft in because he didn't get to go on a date with Victoria. So he does make her like a tea later and she says it's perfect. So they were like, Angelista was just like, I love you so much. Like, you go boy. Like, everybody's wingmanning him. It's really cute. And Opie avoids the girls but goes into the bedroom and talks to the guys, and he still is not getting why Angie's upset because he's like, we're open. So, whatever. And Samraj just tries to say that she feels mugged off, and he's not really getting it. So, Jazz in the dressing room is like, I'm so done grafting Lorenzo, like, I'm over it. Sean tells Lorenzo that Jazz just thought he would have more to say about them. Lorenzo, like, very coldly responds, like, unfortunately, that's, like, not the point of the date, you know? Like, that's not why I was there. And I'm like, he's so ick. Like, he's just, I'm so icked out by Lorenzo, and I had my eye on him anyway. So, yeah. Okay. The boys are downstairs kind of coordinating the coffees. Samraj decides to drop off Jasmine's coffee for Lorenzo. She doesn't want it. She's like, it's dead. Somebody else can have it. Sean delivers Angelista's coffee from Ope, saying he wants to give her space. And those are Sean's words. But it's true. But at the same time, it's like, I just wish the other guys like Sean would have just made her coffee instead. And I wish Samraj would have made Jasmine a coffee instead. So just they wouldn't have to have those like weird freaking vibes in the morning. It's just like, a coffee is not going to change anything. Honestly, not. It couldn't have made it worse if they didn't, and it's not going to make it better that they did. So why bother? So Victoria and Sam go for a little chat after everybody comes downstairs, and Sean and Lola are like gushing. It was so cute. She was like putting some either sunscreen or oil, I hope it was sunscreen, on his back. And they're like, our son's growing. Our son's growing. Like, it was the freaking cutest. Like, they keep having these really freaking cute moments. Like, I'm gonna need a montage of all their moments. I'm loving them. So Sam asked Victoria like who who she models for, and I forget what she says, but he's like, you're so beautiful, you're gonna be modeling for Vogue soon, like, don't worry. She's like, that'd be a dream. And then they talk about love languages, how he likes to give acts of service, and she really likes to receive acts of service. Like, so she really appreciated that tea that he gave her. So I was like, go Sam, good job. There's Fuzzy. She's gonna talk to everyone. She likes him, and the girls are really wingmanning him hard. So she likes him, but it seems like she likes Opie the most, and I forget who else she says she likes. I found out later. Namibia is chatting with Aiden in the kitchen just for a little bit. They're like sitting at the stools, and he tries to put words in her mouth immediately, and she's like, no, I didn't say that. I forget what he said though, but she was like, you don't try that with me. Aiden says that she'll be a little bit of a problem, and when he says that, my alarm bell went off because that's exactly what he said to Yasmin. So again, he's just replaying his playbook. But as he's saying it, he's like looking down, messing with his arm, and like seems bored even with his own game. So I was just like, do you see? Do you see? So I don't know. I don't think he's really interested in Namibia, but she was like just trying to chat with him and see what's up. So Ellie walks into the kitchen, and Aiden asks her how she's doing, but he keeps asking her in like 4 different ways, so she can't respond. He's just like, yeah, how you doing? And she's trying to answer him, and he keeps just talking over her and interrupting her. And then she's like, yeah, we're gonna have to have a chat, me, you, and Yaz all together. And he cries and basically throws like a little tantrum. He's like, I'm scared, like I don't want to do that. And she's just like, I don't give a fuck what you want, like you're the one that's put us in this sandwich, like let's go. Like, let's go, turkey. So then we have Robin, who walks up to Opie, and she's like, hey, you want to go have like a calm down? I guess, like, I think that's what she says, like, let's go have like a chill conversation and just smooth things over. And as they're sitting down, she's really precious. She's just like, how are you doing, my love? Like, just trying to get him to, be calm and be honest. And so she can also advocate for Angelista, because he apparently doesn't get what's going on. So she's just gonna, say it in a different way, and hopefully he'll understand, but I don't think it's gonna matter. But she does her best. She said, she was like, it's fine if your head was spun. It's fine if this, that, and the other, but it's just the way you were coming across to Angie was just completely different than what you were saying and doing in the dates. So that's where it's like a bit confusing and a bit alarming for her. Because Angie was genuinely super happy about how respectful he was about the pace and everything like that. That went a long way for her. Like, honestly, she was appreciative of that. So he's like, you know what, I'm still gonna like try with her, but I think he's just saying that. I don't think he means that. But yeah, like Angie had no idea he had a wandering eye, and he had no problem, saying that to the boys. It's like he wasn't just saying that to make them laugh, like downplaying. He was downplay it because he was also like, I don't trust myself, guys. Like, I'm gonna kiss her, and he was like, I'm not mature. Like, it was just like it was kind of insulting everyone's intelligence when he was just like, yeah, everybody thinks I'm mature. I'm not. It's like, bro, that's because you've been lying. It's not funny, the fact that you've been just straight up lying. But Robin's a lot nicer about it because she doesn't want him to pop off again. So I think, yeah, he was just putting it on for the camera. Opie apologizes for popping off, and she thanks him for apologizing, that she's only looking out for him and that they love each other still. So they kind of squash it. Okay, Aiden approaches Yaz sitting. He's like, where do you want me? And she's like, in the middle of the sandwich, babes. Like, come on. And he's like denying, like, it's not a sandwich. And that Yaz is just like, it's embarrassing, dude. And he's like, yeah, it's embarrassing for me. So, like, again, playing the victim card, like it's all about him. And Yaz is like, no, it's embarrassing for me. She's like, it's not about you. And Ellie confirms that. She comes up. She's like, this is about Yaz. This is about giving her peace of mind and giving her clarity. Like, this is about clearing it up for Yaz. This isn't about you, fool. Like, so he's already like feeling like he can't control the situation, so he's uncomfy. And yeah, let's see. He was like, okay, I got it wrong. Obviously my intentions were wrong. I think he misspoke. I think he was trying to say like his understanding or something, what is wrong. And he said his intentions, which is ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Your intentions are way wrong, bro. But I don't think he meant to say that. But I was just like, the truth speaks. The truth finds a way. Yeah, and just he thought Ellie was wanting to be chased, which is a huge ick. He's very Delulu. Yaz says, if he still has feelings, it's fine. Just say that. But Ellie's like, no, it's not fine because her choice needs to be respected. I think that's why she was saying that. And he pops off at her. He's like, why are you trying to stir? Like, she's saying this and then you're trying to, he's barely even speaking. He's just making noises. And Ellie's like, she's like, I am just trying to say the truth. The truth will be spoken. And Yaz is just like, why are you being rude to her? Like, stop being rude to her. She's not trying to stir anything. Like, she's actually trying to help. She's here to help. Like, she doesn't have to be here. She doesn't want to be here, but she's trying to help. And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want the truth. He wants to control and manipulate. And it's harder. It's harder to do that when two girls he's messed with are right in front of him, isn't it? That's why he's upset. That's why. Okay, but yeah, then Ellie is just like, you know what? Don't be a prick to me because I'll just give it right back. You're acting all vexed toward me. Don't do that. I'm the wrong one, honey. Like, don't even. And so she walks off, and Aiden tries to apologize to Yaz, but she's just like, you know what? I just think it's going to happen again. And he's like, okay, we'll see. And they're like, yeah, we'll see. So Lorenzo, can I call him that now? Lorenzo's. I'm gonna call him that now. He's cuddling Priya on the couch corner, and they're flirting a lot. He talks about like having a date with her on the outside, and that he'd wait for her until she begged for a kiss, and she's like, I wouldn't unless you leaned in first. And again, like, she's not catching on to the fact that he expects girls to chase him. That's how he operates. He is not the chaser. He's like, there's 20 women always after me, so like, you know what? I just sit back and let it happen. He still is acting like that, like lazy. Here's the thing. I've dated very attractive people. Not all of them, but a lot of them that I didn't get to know like on a deeper level were very much like, what are you going to do for me? Like, how are you going to serve me? Like, what else you got? And I'm just like, are you joking? Because I'm used to being pursued as well. Like, I'm used to this two-way street. And so, like, I don't think so. I'm not here to serve a man. I am sovereign. I am my own goddess. And if you don't value and respect human beings that you are sharing energy with, then no. We're not doing that. I've walked out on people that I'm just like, okay, we're not doing this. Bye. And just left them with their pants in their hands. Not doing it. Big ick. Huge ick. So he quickly moves his arm because he hears Jasmine, because he was cuddling her. He had his arm around Priya, and he hears Jasmine walking up, and he's just like, oh, better move. And she's like, okay, see, I do not rate that. And I'm like, you don't rate that yet. You're still gonna sit there and stay there and flirt with him and just enable him. Just kind of like brush it off. When a red flag presents itself, pick it up, acknowledge it, and address that shit. But no, she kind of lets it slide. She's like not too pressed about it. But and she was defending him too, like against Jasmine's anger, and she was like, you know what, you're just not that compatible, so it's like whatever. And he's like, yeah, I tried to talk to her, and she's like, how could you, she's met all day. So I think she's just trying to squeeze Jasmine out as fast as possible, which she doesn't really need to try that hard, but she's definitely contributing, so it is what it is. Lorenzo asks her about Simraj, and she's like, he's at the, he's leading at the moment because she's talked to him more, and that's like the only reason. Doesn't stop them from what happens next. Lorenzo is trying to like schedule a kiss with her, and she's like, she likes his nonchalance and she likes the chase, which I guess is perfect for Lorenzo, but in the long run, I don't think she's going to be happy with that, because she also said in like one of her bios that she's a little high maintenance. And I'm like, this is not matching up, honey. I think you just like his looks and he likes yours, and it's just going to be surface level. So enjoy that karma, honey. Sam pulls Namibia, and they have a good chat. He has this confidence that she likes, and he's complimenting her on her natural beauty, and he looks for a woman with ambition, and they both like talk about their different dating styles, like she's more of like the wine and dine, less of the adventure. And so they have a really good chat. Like he asks the good questions he did on his dates that the girls were watching, and they noticed that. And then also in his like real dates with the girls, he's just like very, very conversational. It's like you can tell he's been in a serious relationship, unlike others who cannot hold a conversation, who have to like borrow the material of another in order to have anything to say. It's really bizarro. Like Lorenzo, that rhymes with him. He's used to just picking up girls at the bar that are a little tipsy. He doesn't have to try at all. He just gets what he wants and gets out. He's like not non-committal, and he's not trying to change. So great. Okay, hold on one sec. Okay, sorry. I'm trying. We're already at 37 minutes. You see me trying to talk fast? Okay, we're getting there. Angie is feeling deflated. She's talking to Mika and Jazz at the fire pit. They see Victoria pull Opie, and Jazz is just like, all right. She's watching where they're going, and they go and they kind of sit in like the perfect view of where they're at, and she's like, good. Like, it was really funny. But Mika and Angelista decide to move to like over by the nets. It's like a trampoline net. I wouldn't jump on it, but it's kind of like in the ground or something. What do you call that? I have no freaking idea. So they're just talking, and Angie's like deflated from everything. She has no energy. Everything's just too much, including watching them get, pulled. Victoria is talking to Opie, and he's acting like all innocent, like he's not sure what went wrong. And Victoria just kind of confirms, yeah, you were being dumb. And I love that she said that. She's calling him out. Not that it bothers her, but she knows where Angelista was coming from, and she gets a little even more clear of a picture a little bit later on, because they're already like acting like buddies, by the way, so he's not going to be able to turn them against each other, thank God. But again, he's very hyper, he's very giggly, over the top. He's her top two. She doesn't tell him what the other person that he's competing with is, but that she did have a good conversation with Sam. Victoria talks to Namibia after that, and they talk about how their chats went. Victoria likes Opie, loves the flirt. She needs to talk to Angie, though. She feels bad for pulling Opie before she pulled Angie, and she also likes Sam. So Namibia, she chats about liking Sam, how he's mysterious, and her top two are Lorenzo and Aiden, because Aiden's a big flirt. Like, Victoria was like, yeah, he'd even flirt with a book, and I'm like, so just leave him alone with the books, because maybe he'll actually end up reading one too. And maybe he'll learn something. Maybe he'll grow a personality. So Victoria pulls Angelista to chat. Angie's just overwhelmed. She recognizes that it's a lot for Victoria to walk into, so she's not going to like demonize her or anything. She's just livid at the boys, and all of the girls were. And Angie doesn't mind that they were going to be exploring. It's just the dishonesty for her. So she needs to chat with Opie for sure. Lorenzo pulls Priya to the hideaway so that they can kiss. See, here's the thing. I think Priya's mindset is like, oh, he would never do what he did to Jasmine to me because like we're more compatible. Here's the freaking issue with that is you're still dealing with the same person at the root of the problems. Now my cat is meowing at the side of the door. My dog finally shut up, and now my cat is whining for me. Motherhood. Sorry, fur baby motherhood. Good Lord. Naja, no. Okay. So anyway, yeah, he's going to do the same thing to Priya. He's just going to be a little bit more manipulative with her, in my opinion. Like, I'm calling it. I'm giving it about 3 days. We'll see how long this lasts. But yeah, he was joking around in the hideaway with her because they're just sitting on the swing set by the hot tub so that they can have some privacy, so he can try to kiss her without any drama because he knows it's going to kick off. And it still does, because as they're walking out, Jasmine is at the fire pit with Kevin, and they both see that shit. And they're just like, oh, that's where they've been. Okay. Jasmine is done. She was already done, but she's well done now. She was just like, I'm in the wrong fucking bed, aren't I? And she's like, I'm over this. I'm seriously over it. And Kevin's like, good. He's like, swoop. I'm going to swoop in. And yeah. Oh boy. Oh yeah, when I was noticing like their little kiss or whatever, Priya and Lorenzo, I don't know. He's like, oh, that was a good kiss, and we christened the hideaway, blah blah. But honestly, their kiss, I would give it like a B- at best. It seemed a little off. I don't know. He definitely has that energy of like, again, what can you do for me? And it comes across even in his kisses. So whatever. That's the end of the episode. I don't